Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across your world, it's your national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Kasani Balachandra Adhikari. Here are your top stories for tonight.
Steps to detain and question Manna Ramesh. 9.6% growth in country's official reserves. 2 other scholarship programs from the Presidential Fund. Advanced level classes for ordinary level students will begin within 2 weeks following the examination. The bill to suspend Parate law until December 15th was passed in Parliament. Appeals Court dismisses Minister Vijay Das's petition. Israel attacks Rafah in Gaza.
We move on to those and other stories in detail. And in your top local story tonight, the police say Ramesh Priyajanaka alias Manna Ramesh, who was repatriated to the country this morning, is expected to be detained and questioned.
Manna Ramesh, who had committed many crimes and was operating organized criminal groups from abroad, was taken into custody recently in Dubai with a red warrant. Interpol issued red warrant against Manna Ramesh and Dubai police took him into custody recently. He has been charged with many crimes including murders and drug trafficking. The police have said that Manna Ramesh was a wanted suspect for an alleged spree of extortion incidents targeting businessmen in Avisavella. Police media spokesman DIG Nihat Aldua said that the suspect had left the country on April 15th last year and he has committed various crimes. He also said that the suspect possesses firearms and he said that the investigations commenced to inquire whether he maintained relations with terrorist organizations or other international organizations during his time abroad for firearms.
The central bank says the official reserves of the country have increased by 9.6% by April this year. Speaking at the media briefing held under the theme Sustainable Stability, Central Bank Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe made these remarks. Governor of the Central Bank Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe said that the gross reserves have increased to 5.4 billion by the end of April. Last month, he said that the reserves were at 4.96 billion mark. However, he said that the level reached the 5.4 billion mark following a 1.4 billion Chinese swap. He said that this has been achieved as a result of the policies maintained by the central bank in the last 2 years. He pointed out the importance in maintaining short-term and long-term stability within sustainable means. He also pointed out the importance in maintaining policies both by the government and the central bank on the same direction to reach this stability. He said that the economic growth will further be increased in the future with a stable inflation as well as a stable banking system.
And now in more local news, the President's Fund has initiated 2 additional scholarship programs alongside the ongoing scholarship initiatives. This is as per the instructions of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. President's Fund requests students to apply before May 22nd for this scheme. These scholarships will be extended to monks, nuns and lay students enrolled in Piriven and Silamata educational institutions as well as those pursuing information and communication technology at GCE advanced level effective from May. The scholarship distribution will cover all 822 Piriven and Silamata educational institutions across the country. A total of 6 scholarships will be granted to each institution. The selection of scholarship recipients from their respective departments or institutions will be the responsibility of the Pirivenadipatitera or institution director. Scholarships will be granted in 2 categories with an anticipated 5,000 scholarships set aside for lay scholars. Under the first category, scholarships will amount to 3,000 rupees per month for 12 months beginning in May. The second category will offer scholarships at 6,000 rupees per month for a duration of 24 months. Further details and application forms will be made available on the official website of the Presidential Fund, which is www.presidentsfund.gov.lk, as well as on official Facebook page www.facebook.com/Presidentsfund Additionally, the application and instructions will be published in the Government Gazette on May 10th. A scholarship program has commenced with operational backing from the President's Fund, utilizing funds provided by the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka for students who are following information and communication technology as a subject for GCE Advanced Level Examination. This scholarship program aims to cover all educational zones across the country with a minimum provision of 50 scholarships per zone. Eligible students will receive a monthly scholarship of 6,000 rupees for up to 24 months starting from May until they sit for GCE Advanced Level Examination. For information on qualifications and application details, applicants can refer to the official Facebook account of the President's Fund, that is www.facebook.com/President Fund, and the website www.presidentsfund.gov.lk. Additionally, details will be available on the official website of the Ministry of Education, that is www.moe.gov.lk. Eligible students interested in applying for these scholarships are required to submit their completed applications directly to the President's Fund via registered post by May 22nd. Furthermore, the application form and instructions are scheduled to be published in the Government Gazette on May 10th.
Minister Susil Premajayant says following the completion of the GCE ordinary level examination, the GCE advanced level classes for those students will begin in 2 weeks. The examination will be held in a normal manner from next year onwards. He made these remarks to media following an event held in Homagama. Minister Susil Premajayant said that GCE advanced level classes will begin within 2 weeks following the ordinary level examination. He said that before the result of the examination, students in schools without advanced level stream will be enrolled to schools with advanced level. He said that examinations will be further pushed by 4 months to avoid the delay occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, the Recovery of Loans by Banks Special Provisions Amendment Bill, which was revised to accommodate legal provisions to suspend Parate law until December 15th, was passed in Parliament today. Various entities claimed that this move would bring some relief for small and medium-scale entrepreneurs. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that he had raised this matter 18 times since February 20th, 2020, relating to the micro-level industrialists. He said that following the suspension of the Parate law, those who are unable to make debt repayments and those who make exorbitant levels of debt repayments will gain some relief. He said that parliamentary chamber is pleased that the government has taken a positive stance in this regard.
අපි සතුටු වෙනවා ඔබතුමාලා වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ වෙනස් වෙන එක නරක දෙයක් නෙවෙයි, ඒක හොඳ දෙයක්. බැංකු මගින් ප්‍රදානය කරන ලද ණය අය කර ගැනීම. විශේෂ විදුදාන සංශෝධන 50
State Minister Ranjit Singh Balapitiya said that the Act empowers the management boards of the banks to seize assets which are being mortgaged at a time when certain parties are unable to make debt repayments. He said that firstly, the Bank of Ceylon, the People's Bank and the State Mortgage and Investment Bank were empowered through the Act, and then in 1990 the Act empowered all banks. This was done during President R. Premadasa's period. The State Minister said that the law was introduced not to benefit a small group of entities for extremely high profits, but to safeguard the banking system with the expansion of the transactions. He said that reducing bank interest rates is one of the priorities of the government. He said that they increased the deposit interest rates and reduced the inflation. He urged public not to invest in illegal companies for high interest rates, which would ultimately lure them into issues. The central bank is also issuing warnings in this regard. He requested the public to engage with institutions with legalities of the central bank.
The appeal court dismissed the petition filed by Minister of Justice Vijayadasa Rajapaksa seeking to issue an interim order suspending the Colombo District Court's decision to suspend him from functioning as the acting chairman of Sri Lanka Freedom Party. The relevant decision was issued by Appeals Court Judge D.N. Samarakon. Rejecting the petition, the judge pointed out that the judicial authority to make decisions pertaining to this case is vested with the Colombo District Courts. Under such situation, the judge has mentioned that there is no need to implement the authority vested with the Appeals Court to make revisions by intervening in this case. Acting chairman of Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Nimal Siripala de Silva, said that the Politburo appointed him as the acting chairman of the party. However, he said that no entity is yet to challenge his appointment. Therefore, that he also mentioned that it is him who is acting as the chairman of the party. Meanwhile, former organisers and local government representatives of the Ratnapura district related to the party convened a media briefing today. Meanwhile, former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga arrived at the party headquarters yesterday. She had visited the party headquarters to discuss the future affairs of the party. Many senior party members were present at this occasion. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga said that she was a member of the party for a long period of time. However, she visited the party headquarters after a gap of 5 years, and she said that former President Sirisena kept her from the office during this period. She said that they discussed future affairs of the party.
Parliamentary group of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna convened at the party headquarters in Nelumawata today. It was held with the participation of former President and party leader Mahinda Rajapaksa. Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa said that the election campaign office will open at 8 a.m. on May 10th. He said that they are expecting to rally the party members and loyalists for the upcoming elections and to successfully face challenges in the country. He said that with the election campaign office, they will continue to organize from the grassroots levels and introduce new policies which would align with the party policies and safeguard the party members.
අපේ පක්ෂයේ ප්‍රතිපත්ති වලට ගැලපෙන සහ අපේ පාක්ෂිකයා වගේම මේ රට ආරක්ෂා කරන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රතිපත්තිමය මාලාවක් එක්ක අපි අපේ අපේක්ෂකයා සහ ඉදිරි සන්දානගත වීම පිළිබඳව ඔබතුමාලව දැනුවත් කරන්න. ඊටාම සාර්ථකව ශක්තිමත්ව ඉදිරි කටයුතු.
General Secretary of the party parliamentarian Sagar Karyavasam said that strong measures will be in place with the consensus of all leading election victories for Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna.
නෑ අපේ පක්ෂය ඊළඟ මැතිවරණයේ ජයග්‍රහණය කරනවා එච්චරයි.
Now, the opening ceremony of the health promotion program for Sri Lankan media personnel under the theme Theveni Asata Suya Sadamu was held at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation premises today.
And the Health Ministry is expecting an island-wide coverage through this program. This health promotion program has been initiated for media personnel scattered across the country. The program has been jointly initiated by the Health Ministry, Health Promotion Bureau, Colombo National Hospital and the Primary Health Services Empowerment Project. The opening ceremony was held at the National Television's boardroom under the patronage of Secretary to the Ministry of Health Consultant Dr. Parate Mahipala and Chairman of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Dr. Prasad Samarasinghe. Chairman of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Dr. Samarasinghe said that people tend to forget to take care of their health while engaging in professional activities. Therefore, he pointed out the importance in maintaining balance and prioritizing health along with work. Secretary to the Ministry of Health Consultant Dr. Parate Mahipala said that Sri Lanka's health service is the best within the region with low mortality rates. He said that according to recent estimates, the age of women has increased up to 83 years, which is far greater than the USA. He also said that the estimates point out that the age of men is at 78. He said that this is due to a spike in heart-related diseases. He also said that along with Rupavahini, they will continue to conduct awareness programs covering the nation.
අපි ඉදිරියටත් මේ නැවත නැවතත් කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ඔබ රූපවාහිනී සංස්ථාවට
ප්‍රජාවගේ චර්යා වෙනස් කිරීමේ සෞඛ්‍යයට හා මාධ්‍ය
Dr. Utpala Amarasena, representing Health Promotion Bureau, said that health sector and media hold a unique power. Therefore, she said that both should work together for this power and keep everyone healthy. Subsequently, a health clinic was conducted at the corporation premises and many consultant doctors as well as experts in the health sector were present at this occasion.
And in more local news, 48 winners of prizes of 2.5 million, 2 million and 1 million rupees of the Development Lotteries Board received their checks today at the DLB headquarters. It is significant that these winners have emerged from each district in the country. 3 winners of the Supiridana Sampatha lottery received their checks today. Each won 2.5 million rupees. 24 winners of the Kapruka, Shanida, Adakotipati, Super Bowl and Jayoda lotteries received their checks as well. Each was worth 2 million rupees. 21 winners of Lagnavasana lottery received their checks during the event. Each received 1 million rupees. The event was held with the participation of the Chairman of the Development Lotteries Board, Ajit Naragala, and General Manager Anura Jayaratna.
Leader of the House, Minister Susil Premajand, says that the central bank can be convened before the Parliamentary Committee on Public Enterprises or the Committee on Public Finance at any given time. He made these remarks while responding to a query raised over the independence of the central bank. Parliamentarian Charita Herath said that during the previous parliamentary session, the annual economic commentary of the central bank was presented. He said that this commentary raises many serious concerns, including the language. He pointed out that the central bank assumptions is the government and the central bank are two different entities. He further said that the central bank functions as a mechanism which belongs to the state. He said that in the commentary, the word state has been used to articulate the term government. However, he said that the term government is defined differently in the constitution. He said that the central bank and the Ministry of Finance can be differentiated and clustered, yet the central bank and the state cannot be divided.
මහ බැංකුවේ සමහරු කල්පනා කරන්නේ ඒක රාජ්‍යයට අයිති නෑ කියලා. ඒක තමයි මේ වාර්තාවේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒ විතරක් නෙමෙයි. මේකේ වැඩ ඔක්කොම කරලා තියෙන්නේ මහ බැංකුව විතරයි. මේකේ ෆිස්කල් පොලිසි පැත්තෙන් මුකුත් කරලා නෑ මේ වාර්තාවේ හැටියට. මේ වාර්තාවේ කැබිනට් එක මුකුත්ම කරලා නෑ. ඊට කලින් උදේගම්මන්පිල ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමා
Parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansh pointed out that the independence enunciated by the central bank raises the concern on who owns the agency. Therefore, he said that this matter should be resolved at the earliest by convening the central bank officials.
ගන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ කියලා. ඉතින් මේ අසාමාන්‍ය ස්වාධීනකරණය රාජ්‍යයෙන් පවා. ඒකෝර දැන් මේක කාටද අයිති? මේක ආණ්ඩු පක්ෂයේ හෝ විපක්ෂයේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් හැටියට විතරක් පටු කරලා තේරුම් ගන්නේ නැතුව මේ කාරණේ විභාග කිරීම සඳහා කරුණාකරලා මහා බැංකුවේ සියලුම නිලධාරීන් කැඳවන්න ඔවුන් සමග ප්‍රශ්න කරලා මේක निराකරණය කරන්න. මහා බැංකුව පසුගිය වර්ෂයේ
Parliamentarian Lakshman Kirialis said that the central bank has suffered a loss of over 1,000 million rupees in the past year. Minister Susil Premajand said that this commentary can be convened before the COPE committee, as the central bank is liable to the committee.
A memorandum of understanding for an agricultural and forest conservation project was signed at the Presidential Secretariat today. The project is valued at $100 million. The Climate Change Office in Sri Lanka, in participation with the Climate Vulnerable Forum and Nativa Capital of Portugal, finalized a MOU today. This collaborative agreement signals a collective commitment to undertake a farming and forest protection project in Sri Lanka with the aim of uplifting 15,000 farming families in the Anuradhapura district. Meticulous selection has been designated a subset of 15 families.
Actually, we are very proud today because as the Climate Change Office, we have been working very diligently on various projects. And as you all know, President Wickremesinghe put out the Climate Prosperity Plan, which was put out in Egypt in COP last year, 2 years ago. The Prosperity Plan basically is where we have taken upon about 101 projects, which are more renewable energy projects, irrigation projects, agricultural projects. These are all green projects that will help our economy and help our country to grow. And out of all these 101 projects, we have now signed MOU with Nativa, and of course it was driven by the CVF, President Nasheed, who is the Secretary General of the Climate Vulnerable Forum, was also instrumental in helping us develop our climate prosperity plan. And so with his help, we have now signed an MOU between the three of us to initiate this program. So this program is an agriculture program. It's going to help 15,000 farming families in Anuradhapura. How it works is, of course, we have our movement of Lanka organization that has gathered 15,000 farming families from Anuradhapura. They have, together with Nativa, the company from Portugal, who will invest in this project where our farmers, the 15,000 farmers, will get $6,000 to $7,000 in order to invest in solar pumps and invest in certain crops that Nativa will then buy back and then help with also to produce for the local markets as well as to export to the foreign markets.
This is one of the projects from the Sri Lanka Climate Prosperity Plan. The Climate Vulnerable Forum encourages member countries to do climate prosperity plans. These are low carbon development strategies that would give you the same economic outcomes of GDP growth, high employment, low inflation, but without damaging the planet. So every project in the Sri Lanka Climate Prosperity Plan is designed so that it is environmentally friendly and sustainable, meanwhile still giving you an economic return. Now, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Ghana has already done a plan, and these three countries, the plan is in operation. We have about 7 other countries who wants to do a plan. Now, Sri Lanka plan is one of the best plans that I have seen that we have been able to bring into operation. I must mention Bangladesh plan is also very well in operation. They are about to start a 500 megawatt wind farm to generate renewable energy. Now, Sri Lanka plan also has a number of renewable energy projects as well. But this specific plan, the agriculture plan, brings prosperity to farmers in new methods of farming, new methods of irrigation, new methods of harvesting, and new methods of transporting, packing, and these new methods would bring a better yield.
We'll be right back with some foreign news items right after this. Stay tuned.
In foreign news, the Israeli military stated that its troops were taken operational control of the Palestinian side of the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt. The United Nations warned that the closure of Rafah meant that the 2 main aid arteries for Gaza were currently choked off. The Israeli military ordered tens of thousands of civilians to begin evacuating nearby eastern parts of Rafah city ahead of what is called a limited operation yesterday. Hamas said that Israeli seizure of the Rafah crossing was aimed at undermining attempts by regional mediators to secure a new ceasefire deal.
Approximately 5 people were declared dead and about 50 others remain trapped following the collapse of a building in South Africa. Rescue teams stated today that they had contacted survivors buried in the rubble after they worked overnight at the site in the coastal city of George in South Africa's Western Cape province. The 5-story building, which was under construction, collapsed yesterday afternoon. 26 of the 75 construction workers on site at the time of the collapse were able to be pulled out of the rubble by this morning.
Polls are underway in the third of the seven-phase Indian election, with 11 states voting for 93 seats in Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament. Prime Minister Narendra Modi cast his vote in Gandhinagar constituency, where his second Home Minister Amit Shah was the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate. Meanwhile, the Election Commission of India is running a campaign to encourage people to vote while consulting weather officials and health and disaster management agencies to deal with the impact of the heat wave. Weather conditions are predicted to be within normal ranges, and it said in a statement calling on voters to turn out in great numbers at polling stations and vote with responsibility and pride. The first two phases of the vote were held on the 19th of April and 26th of April in 190 constituencies, with a voter turnout of 66.1% and 66.7% respectively, about 4% lower than in 2019.
More than 750,000 Sudanese and Chadians were fled Darfur and converged on the 32 entry points in eastern Chad. Chad was the country most affected by the crisis in Sudan, with 44.8% of the Sudanese refugees and thousands of new arrivals every week. These refugees live in a large number of formal and informal camps in 11 health districts in the provinces of the NAD East, Oddai, Sila and Wadi Fira. In the camps, access essential services was disputed due to the difficult physical access, limited human and material resources and the inability to pay for health care. This humanitarian situation has exacerbated by epidemics of dengue fever, measles and hepatitis E.
And in your sports news tonight, finals of the ICC Women's T20 Cricket World Cup qualifiers will be held tonight between Sri Lanka and Scotland. Both teams have qualified for the ICC Women's T20 Cricket World Cup.
The finals will be held in Abu Dhabi. Competing from Group A, Sri Lanka managed to qualify for the semi-finals with an unbeaten record. Sri Lanka managed to qualify for the finals after defeating the UAE. Scotland managed to qualify for the finals by defeating Ireland. Sri Lanka has met Scotland twice in the past in the T20 format, but won on both occasions. The matches to select the squad for the T20 World Cup Cricket World Cup are currently underway at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. SLC Greens compete against SLC Yellow yesterday. Batting first, Greens scored 252 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Bhanuka Rajapaksa scored 88, while Janit Lianage scored 70. In response, SLC Yellow only managed to gather 153 runs in 16 overs. Accordingly, SLC Greens won the match by 99 runs. And with that, we wrap up the news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira together with Kasuni Balachandra Adhikari. Wish you a pleasant evening. Take care.
Good night.